If you're a parent, or really if you even know one, you know the feeling. That anxiety around what to feed your baby, what to avoid, the constant fear of a sudden, serious allergic reaction. It's a lot. But what if I told you the science on all of this has done a complete 180, and that the answers are actually clearer and way more surprising than we ever thought? It's a question we've all been asking, right? It honestly feels like overnight, peanut-free classrooms just became the norm. EpiPens are everywhere, and you're not imagining it. The rise is absolutely real, and it happened incredibly fast. So what on earth is going on? The numbers are just staggering. According to the CDC, food allergies in kids shot up by a whopping 50% just since the 1990s. Today, that works out to about 1 in every 13 kids having a food allergy. Think about that. That's 2, maybe 3 children in an average classroom who have to deal with a potentially life-threatening risk from everyday foods. Okay, let's dive into this. This isn't just some passing trend. It's a genuine modern health mystery. And in this explainer, we're going to play detective. We're going to follow the scientific clues that have finally started to crack the case. And they reveal a story that turns decades of medical advice completely on its head. So our first major clue takes us to a place we can't even see. It's not about smog or pollution in the air. It's about the invisible world of microbes all around us and, inside of us. Scientists started to get this strong suspicion that our very relationship with this microscopic world has been fundamentally broken. At first, they called this idea the hygiene hypothesis. The basic thought was that our modern, super sanitized world was, just too clean. The theory went that without enough germs to fight off, our immune systems basically got bored and started picking fights with totally harmless things, like peanut proteins. But the science has gotten way more precise since then. See, it turns out it's not really about needing more colds or flu viruses. The newer old friends hypothesis suggests our immune systems are missing exposure to specific, ancient, harmless microbes from our environment. From the mud, the soil, animals, things we literally co-evolved with. Our immune system expects to see them early on to learn what's safe and what's not. So where did our old friends go? Well, modern life has pretty much systematically kicked them out. Things like early life antibiotic use, which just wipes out gut bacteria, C-section births that bypass the mother's microbiome, and even just living in cities, disconnected from the rich microbial world of nature, all of it rubs a developing immune system of these crucial training partners. And look, this is not just a theory. There's real data. A massive study of over 1 million children found a direct, powerful link. Kids who got antibiotics early in life had a significantly higher risk of developing a food allergy. That's some of the strongest evidence we have connecting the disruption of our microbiome to this allergy epidemic. Okay, so our immune systems are misfiring. That's piece number 1. But that was only half the mystery. The second, and honestly probably bigger breakthrough, came from an idea that was completely counterintuitive. An idea that would flip the entire world of allergy prevention upside down. This is the clue that changed everything. Okay, so get this. The crucial discovery is that the root of exposure is everything. The dual allergen exposure hypothesis basically says that if a baby's first contact with something like peanut protein is through dust in the air landing on their skin, especially if they have eczema, the immune system can freak out and learn to see it as a threat. But if the first exposure is through eating it, the gut teaches the immune system, hey, chill out, this is just food, and that promotes tolerance. And this brilliantly illustrates the real-world impact. For decades, what did doctors tell parents? Avoid peanuts, avoid eggs. But if the dual exposure idea is right, that advice might have been the worst thing we could possibly do. It created this long window of time where a baby could be exposed through their skin long before their gut had a chance to build tolerance. Then, in 2015, the LEAP study came along and proved it. The results were, they were nothing short of revolutionary. The LEAP study took infants who were at high risk for allergies. They had one group avoid peanuts completely, just like the old advice said. The other group ate peanut products early and often. The difference was just astounding. The kids who ate peanuts early saw an over 80% reduction in peanut allergies by the time they were 5. 80%. This wasn't some tiny effect. It was a massive, game-changing discovery. This one study, published in the super prestigious New England Journal of Medicine, basically forced the entire medical world to stop and completely rethink decades of established advice. So, what does all this mean for your family right now? Well, the revolution in the science has led to a revolution in the pediatrician's office. All of this incredible research has created a completely new playbook for preventing food allergies. So, based on this rock-solid evidence, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, that's NIAID, issued brand new guidelines. And you'll notice how it's tailored to the kid. For high-risk infants, we're talking babies with severe eczema or an existing egg allergy, the advice is to introduce peanuts as early as 4 to 6 months, after, of course, talking with a doctor. For lower-risk kids, it's a bit more relaxed, but the key takeaway is no more delaying. So the general strategy now looks like this. 1, timing is everything. You want to start right around when your baby's ready for solids. 2, go one at a time. This lets you watch for any reactions. 3, and this is super important, make sure it's in a safe form. Think smooth purees, never ever whole nuts. And finally, number 4, consistency is key. Once a food is introduced and tolerated, you want to keep it in their diet to maintain that tolerance. Now, really quick, it's important we address a common myth. Some people point the finger at genetically modified foods for the allergy epidemic. But honestly, the science just doesn't back it up. The timeline is all wrong. The allergy surge began before GM crops were even a big thing. And to date, there is zero published scientific evidence that links the two. Okay, so let's put it all together. The allergy epidemic is real and it's significant. It seems to be driven by our modern, too-clean world, starving our immune systems of those important microbial old friends. We now know for a fact that the old advice to delay allergens was wrong and probably made things worse. The new gold standard based on solid evidence is early and consistent introduction of allergens through their diet. And most importantly, this is a conversation you have with your pediatrician so you can make a safe plan that's right for your child. So this whole journey leaves us with a really fascinating final thought. We've untangled this huge mystery of food allergies by understanding our relationship with the microbial world and the timing of exposure. So the really big question now is, what's next? If this approach works for allergies, could these same principles help us tackle the rise of other modern inflammatory diseases like IBD or MS? The science on this is really just getting started.